And hello, everyone. My name is Matt Bray, Marketing Director for Recommend. First, a big thank you for joining us today on this special webinar to get to know the new Club Med. If you have any questions during the presentation, feel free to type them into the Q&A box at the left of your screen. We'll go over as many of them as we can at the end of the webinar. Now, I'm very pleased to introduce our presenter today for today's webinar, Patrick Mitchell. Patrick is Vice President for U.S. Sales at Club Med North America. He has more than 15 years of experience in the hospitality industry. And during the Q&A, he'll be joined by his colleague, Tracy Sedlak. She's the Director of Call Center Operations for Club Med North America. And Patrick, thanks for being here today.
My pleasure, Matt, and thank you to the team at Recommend for hosting us with this webinar to talk about the new Club Med. As Matt has said, I've also got Tracy Sedlak coming to you from our call center in Phoenix. Tracy has 15 years of experience with Club Med, and so all the hard questions will go to Tracy. I'm coming to you from our headquarters office in Miami. So we're thrilled to have an opportunity to update you on all the great new things at Club Med. I can tell you from the start that I don't expect anyone to become an expert in Club Med as a result of my presentation. We will, however, give you an opportunity at the end to identify how you can become an expert. But my goal today is not only to update you, but hopefully to encourage you and to find out more about Club Med and to perhaps surprise you a little bit. Club Med is, like many all-inclusives, is in the Caribbean, but we've got a much broader story to tell. And so with that, I'll move on to the presentation. And just in terms of agenda, what we're going to try to cover today in about 40 minutes are 6 key areas as it pertains to Club Med. First, a real brief history and evolution of Club Med, sort of where we started and where we're at today. But more importantly, some key selling points, where we think the value is in selling Club Med, a little bit of background on some new resorts that we've opened starting late last year and into this year. Talk about something that's very important to us and a key differentiator for Club Med, and that's our all-inclusive ski product. And then lastly, leave you with some tips that we've been sharing with travel partners on how to sell Club Med. So first, real quick history. Club Med, as you may know, is the inventor of the all-inclusive concept. We were the original global resort chain dating back to 1950 when Club Med was founded by Gerard Blitz. We have been in the ski business since the 1950s. Many people think of Club Med as the adult-only sex, sand, and ski product, but Club Med, in fact, has been providing programs and catering to families since 1967. We have been in the Caribbean since 1968, but also have expanded to exotic destinations in Asia and South America. And then most recently, as 2005, we initiated a major investment program that was designed to create the new Club Med, fully intended on upgrading the product to become a true 4-star, 5-star family-focused product, culminating this year with 3 new resorts that we'll cover. So a real brief history from 1950 to 2013, and we're going to get into the meat of the presentation first by looking at the key selling points for Club Med. So we have what we refer to our 4 pillars, and these are what we think makes Club Med different, and we share this with you to help you begin thinking about how you might position Club Med versus other all-inclusive players, as well as other hotel and resort companies around the globe and in the U.S. So the one key differentiator, I think, to Club Med versus other all-inclusives is the fact that we have resorts worldwide on 5 continents. We've got resorts in China, we've got resorts in Northern Africa, resorts in Europe, South America. And so when you think of Club Med as an all-inclusive resort company, we're not just an all-inclusive operator in the traditional sense or the classical sense, being in Mexico, the Caribbean, the Bahamas, but also with resorts around the globe. Second key differentiator or unique selling point for Club Med is what we call the Club Med spirit. And this is part of the brand DNA that dates back to the 1950s. And it's the spirit and the engagement that's created by our multicultural GOs. We refer to our staff on site as gentle organizers, and they have been a core part of the Club Med experience since the 1950s and remain so today. And that interaction engagement is really what's important. We'll talk a little bit more about what that means. In terms of sports offerings, we have a wide range of activities with expert instruction. Again, the sports offering is a key component of the all-inclusive package, and sports, again, is at the core of the DNA, with the founders of Club Med being former Olympic water polo players and sports being a core component of the experience dating back to 1950. And then lastly, as I mentioned, dating back 45 years, we've been creating fun and enrichment for children, but with a real strong effort on creating peace of mind for parents. And so these are 4 key components that I'm going to cover in a little bit more detail. So first, with respect to our global destinations, this may not be the easiest slide for you to read, and I apologize. This is a 2-page pullout from our annual brochure, what we call the Trident, and at least if you can see the map, it demonstrates the global presence that Club Med has around the world in 71 very unique destinations. As I mentioned, Asia, Africa, Europe, South America, as well as North America. Of the 71, we feature for U.S. guests and our U.S. travel partners 30 that we think are most appealing to Americans. And those 30, again, stretch around the globe, but we've spent quite a bit of time looking at what destinations North Americans are already traveling to or shopping for through Club Med channels. We've looked at guest satisfaction ratings. We've looked at TripAdvisor ratings. We've looked operationally to ensure that we've got not just multicultural GOs, but also bilingual and English-speaking GOs for North American guests that are traveling to these locations. So the collection that we have of 30 resorts includes 8 in North America, 22 outside of North America and the Caribbean. Of those 22, 8 are ski resorts, and we'll talk about ski in a few minutes. But really want to emphasize just how fabulous the locations are, and that these properties are all upscale, 4-star, what we call 4 Trident locations, and really amazing destinations. As I mentioned, we've got resorts worldwide. We've got resorts in what I think are not just global destinations, but destinations that have very unique appeal, but also very high brand awareness, if you will, because of the destination. So in addition to having the only fully all-inclusive resort in the U.S. at Sandpiper Bay in Port St. Lucie, we've got resorts in marquee destinations like Phuket in Thailand, in Rio das Pedras in Brazil. The south of France, we have a resort in Provence, a brand new resort in China that I'll talk about, in Marrakesh, Morocco, and many other locations. So while I'm not going to go through all the locations because there's so many, I would encourage you to think about Club Med for your guests and families in particular who may have experienced an all-inclusive in the Caribbean but are also traveling to one of these locations and would not necessarily associate an all-inclusive vacation in a place like Bali or in Marrakesh, for example. I mentioned the Geo Spirit. It's what I refer to as the secret sauce of the Club Med experience. It really is the essence of every Club Med resort. It's our heart and our soul. It's the one thing that hasn't changed throughout the years as Club Med has evolved. The ambiance that's created in the resort because of the multiculturality, which we define not just in terms of languages, but coming from different backgrounds around the world, different ethnicities, really creates a very unique experience for guests in a Club Med village. They're very helpful, very friendly, very engaged in creating the vacation experience. They're very involved, getting to know the guests on a very personal level. So that allows them to help create a very custom and very personalized vacation for our guests, and is quite unique to resort vacations. Sports, as I mentioned, is a key component of the Club Med experience. We are unrivaled in terms of the variety of sports that we offer. Club Med often refers to itself as having the largest sports school in the world. Each resort features between 15 and 30 unique sports or activities, both winter and summer mountain sports, year-round water sports that you would expect at beach locations, circus schools throughout many of our resorts. So whether you're looking to wakeboard, to bicycle, to play tennis or golf, scuba diving, sailing, skiing, snowboarding, sledding, archery, we have a very, very wide variety of sports available to help customize the experience. And so, Club Med, while the locations are quite appealing for a very restful and relaxing vacation, it's also very appealing to your very active families who want to ensure that the kids aren't going to be bored and that you leave having learned a new sport or learned some phrases of a new language or tried some food that's local to the destination. We have to help you understand sort of what's included and what's not included. In the all-inclusive package, we have what we call open access sports. So these are activities that are available to everybody sort of on a pickup basis. So whether that involves beach volleyball, kayaking, or tennis. We also do offer classes for beginners and other levels in a variety of sports schools. So in certain locations, we've got, for example, in Grega Limano in Greece, we have a wind sailing school. We've got sailing schools. We've got tennis and golf academies at Sandpiper Bay. And so we do have, in addition to open access, where we do give instructions. We have higher level sports schools at many of the Club Med resorts. And then in addition to that, we have what are called a la carte intensive lessons. These come at an additional fee. The best examples would be scuba. For example, we offer scuba in great destinations, for example, in Turks and Caicos and the Bahamas, as well as perhaps in Mexico. In Egypt, there's great scuba diving. That comes at extra cost, as do our intensive lessons, for example, in tennis and golf. So look for, in the Trident brochure, we identify what's included as part of the all-inclusive package, and then where we provide our mutual guests an opportunity to take their game or the sport to the next level with more intensive classes. Kids have been a core component of the Club Med experience. As I mentioned, we initiated the first mini club for kids back in 1967, so over 45 years of expertise in creating programming for kids. Today we have specialized programs for kids in 4 age groups. We have Baby Club Med, which are for the smallest ages 4 months to 23 months. We have Petite Club Med, which are for our kids 2 years to 4 years, Mini Club Med from 5 years to 10 years, and then Junior Club Med or Pass World for those 11 and older. A very high-touch experience. Again, our approach to kids programs is not to create a room where we put them and we hand them a Wii board. Really teaching them either a sport or cooking or art or dance. So again, a very wide variety of activities for kids of all ages. We also have a very unique program for the youngest of our guests, so babies up to 23 months. We have a program called Baby Club Med, and with Baby Club Med, the key advantage for your new families, for new moms and new dads, is that we make it very easy for them to vacation without having to bring, as we say, all that stuff with them that they need for their infant child. So we provide all the baby care equipment that you need on site, including cots and diaper changing mats, baby baths, strollers, all the equipment that's necessary for preparing baby meals, complete with complimentary bottles and foods, Gerber foods in a specialty kitchen just for our very smallest and youngest guests. And again, a key differentiator, I think, for Club Med guests. We have initiated recently in Punta Cana a new mini club concept in which we've created 3 themed areas around music, art, and games, and the feedback that we're getting from Punta Cana is very, very positive with respect to these new concepts. We also, just prior to launching the new mini club concepts last May, we initiated a change in our kids pricing policy. And again, I say policy because this is not a promotion that we run from time to time. This is a change in our kids pricing. Starting this last May for stay starting this summer, we reduced our pricing such that all kids under the age of 4 stay free at Club Med resorts worldwide. For kids age 4 to 12, we charge 50% of the adult rate, or said conversely, a 50% discount to the adult rate. And for kids 13 through 16, it's a 40% discount. So we charge 60% of the adult rate for teens, and then for kids over the age of 16, it's a full adult price. So again, very, very positive feedback from families on our change in our kids pricing. One thing that's not written here in the presentation that may be an important point to demonstrate Club Med's success with families and might surprise some of you who have known Club Med or who have perceptions about Club Med. Today in not just the U.S. but globally around the world, 65% of our guests are families, and 25% of our guests are couples. Only 10% of our guests today actually travel as single, and I think it's because of the programming and focus and commitment that we've got over the years, not just to kids programming, but to creating a very special family vacation. In terms of awards and recognition, one that we're quite proud of has to do with the annual rankings that come from TripAdvisor. I'm sure that as travel counselors, this is something that you take a look at. We were quite thrilled to learn that Ixtapa, which is our resort on the Pacific coast in Mexico, was rated the #1 family hotel in Mexico and was rated the #2 family hotel globally. And I think that speaks volumes to the success that we've had over the past 5 or 6 years in not only creating an upscale family-friendly product, but also really focusing on what's important for families and for kids in particular. So I won't read through all of these, but you can see that many of our most popular resorts here in North America, Punta Cana was rated number 5 in the Caribbean, Cancun was rated number 3 in Mexico, and then a fairly attractive list of resorts around the world that are highly rated by guests who stay at Club Med. In terms of speaking about the value of an all-inclusive, if it's not well known among you as travel counselors, let me just cover what's included at a typical Club Med resort globally, and this is true around the world. Covers beach, cultural, and our ski properties. We have a wide range of accommodations. There are accommodations that range from our entry-level club rooms all the way up to private chalets and villas. So we've got club rooms, we have deluxe rooms, we have suites, we have 5 Trident luxury spaces within some of our resorts. Example in Cancun and in Punta Cana, in the Maldives, in Valmoral, a ski village, but also above the 5 Trident luxury spaces, which are basically 5 stars. So when I say Trident, I say Trident, you say star. We also have in certain locations in Mauritius, in Valmoral, in Belek in Turkey, we have a private valet product that is quite attractive for your very, very high-end luxury clients as well. We talked a lot about children's programmings. All of the activities for kids 4 and over are included. We do provide activities for Baby Club Med and Petite Club Med. Those do come at an additional cost, but do remember that those little types stay with us for free. So the programming, for example, in Baby Club Med, the ratio of babies to counselors is 5 to 1. Wide range of sports included with expert instruction. Any of our group lessons for virtually all of our sports are included. It includes all of your evening entertainment. There are no upcharges for any of the entertainment we've got in any of our resorts. Gourmet international cuisine, again, very authentic to the destinations, all included, including snacks throughout the day. And then unlimited open bar with branded alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages are available. And so in a world in which Cokes go for $6 and wine goes for $18 a glass, including the cost of beverages in addition to food, really creates enormous value and convenience for families. In terms of what's new for 2013, we share these new resorts with you because not only they're new and they're fun to talk about, but I also think it demonstrates Club Med's strategy. And for me, I continue to hear how surprising it is to travel agents that Club Med is not only investing in these destinations, but how absolutely unexpected and surprising the resorts are from what they remember back in the 1980s, 1990s. So I'm going to share with you our 3 most recent resorts. We've got more in the pipeline, but these are the 3 that we have opened since December of 2012. First, we opened a new ski resort. It's our 23rd ski resort in the world. It is in Pregelato, Via Latea, which is outside of Turin. It's a fantastic opportunity to live La Dolce Vita in the heart of the Italian Alps. It is a ski in, ski out resort with access to 7 different ski resorts and 250 miles of ski runs. It's unique in that it is built in a village-style chalet environment, as you can see in the photograph on the left-hand side. As you may know, building in the Alps is a challenge, and with most properties that we've built, we tend to have to build them in multiple stories, 6, 7, 8 stories, to take advantage of the domain. And in this particular case, we've been able to build something that is very consistent with a Club Med village that you might find in a non-ski area, for example, in Cancun or Punta Cana. But again, all detached chalets with 3 restaurants, including restaurants on the slope, so there's no need to make your way down the mountain for lunch or snacks during the day. And like every Club Med ski resort, a multitude of non-ski activities, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a minute. Second, opening this past April is a new resort on the Turkish Riviera called Club Med Belek. It is an absolute paradise for families, built for kids, with large swimming pools, water slides, great activities for the whole family, but also dedicated relaxation areas, including quiet pools. Again, virtually every Club Med has a fantastic branded spa. And what's unique again about the location is not only is it on the Mediterranean, but it's also next to one of the highest rated golf courses in the world. The Likia Links golf course was ranked in the top 100 courses worldwide by Golf Magazine. So again, we hope that things calm down in Turkey, because it's a fantastic destination. As many of you know, it's been a hot destination for the past year, and this is our third Four Trident resort that we have in Turkey. And so we now have 2 of the 30 resorts that we feature for American guests are in Turkey. One in Bodrum, and the second one in Belek, which is just outside of Antalya. And then third, Club Med Guilin in China is located on the Li River in southeastern China. This is a former Relais and Chateau property that's owned by a very wealthy Chinese businessman who has previously invested an extraordinary amount of resources, both time and money, in developing a very unique sculpture park that surrounds the property. It is a destination that is just full of natural and cultural wealth. As I said, as you can see in the backgrounds, you can see the karst hills, an amazing opportunity to explore authentic Chinese culture. There are numerous excursions outside of the village, which is something that we feature in all of the resorts that we've selected for the 22 resorts outside of North America. We really feel strongly about the excursion program, the cultural and exploration program that you can have outside of the resort. This destination is about an hour flight from Hong Kong. Guilin, for any of you that may be Chinese specialists, you'll know that is a very popular tourist destination, and this resort is intended for international travelers. So we're quite excited about Guilin. So hopefully you can see with the breadth of the product that's new for Club Med in 2013, with a new chalet-style resort in the Italian Alps, a new family resort on the Turkish Riviera, and then Guilin in China, that we really are committed to providing top-rated international destinations, but also in very authentic experiences in such a way that it speaks to guests that perhaps had never thought of an all-inclusive vacation when they think of all-inclusive vacation in a cultural location, when they've been thinking about Mexico, Jamaica, or the Dominican Republic. In terms of ski, ski is a big focus for us in the month of September, and so it's a great opportunity for us, while we have this webinar scheduled, to talk about Club Med ski product. We have 22 ski resorts worldwide. Again, this is a spread that's pulled from our upcoming brochure. All but 2 of the ski resorts are in the Alps. either the French, Italian, or Swiss. We do have a ski resort in Japan called Sapporo, and a ski resort in China in Yabuli. We have 8 resorts that we feature. I'll talk a little bit about, but I do want to mention that currently, just this week on September 9th, we launched an incentive for travel partners that we call Go for the Gold. And for any booking that is under $5,000, we have, in addition to your base commission, we're offering an additional $50 bronze bonus commission. If the booking to one of the ski resorts is between $5,000 and $10,000, there's a silver $100 bonus commission, and for any booking over $10,000, that's the gold, and that's a $200 bonus commission on top of your base commission. Our average, in terms of average bookings, which is true not just in the Alps but around the world, our average basket, if you will, our average booking is just about $3,500. So in a day and age in which some travel partners struggle with the commissions they earn on selling cruises, the earning opportunity for selling Club Med all-inclusive globally is pretty significant, we think, and ski is a key component of that earning opportunity. We have, as I mentioned, we have 8 resorts of the 22 that we feature. The 8 are listed here. We have Chamonix, we have La Plagne, Pézy-Valandry in France. We've got St. Moritz in Switzerland, Tignes and Val d'Isère in France, Valmorel also in France, and Pragelato in Italy. All but 2 of these are ski in and ski out. We have a new ski value brochure that's available by speaking with your local business development manager. If the ski is something you specialize in or something you'd like to get involved in, we've got some resources to help you understand the various properties and what's available in the locations. The one thing that you might take away from this slide that I didn't mention earlier with respect to accommodations, and that is that there are no cookie-cutter Club Med resorts. They're all very unique and authentic to the destination. We do not, like a lot of hotel chains, we don't develop a property design and then drop that property in wherever we can negotiate a land deal. You'll see that all the properties are unique, and so we have tools that help you understand everything you need to know about the resort, not just in terms of the number of rooms, but the ages of kids, the programs for kids, how far from the closest airport, the room categories, and then anything else that you may need to know. So if ski is something you're interested in and you want to understand the differences, say, between a Chamonix and a Val d'Isère in terms of the ski experience, we're happy to provide that to you. Tracy and her team in the call center are product experts. Virtually 100% of our business that's booked by travel agents is booked through our call center. They've got all of the assets at their fingertips, so we would encourage you, in addition to taking advantage of the tools we have available offline as well as online on the Club Med website, clubmedta.com, certainly rely on the expert staff that we've got in Phoenix, in Tempe, I should say, and in Montreal. Club Med all-inclusive, again, it was one of my lessons I've learned in the past years that I've been with Club Med is that not everybody that hears that Club Med has a ski product necessarily draws the parallel between all-inclusive Caribbean and all-inclusive ski. So this is one of the slides from the educational tool I just spoke of that helps you understand what's included. We do quite a bit of round-trip airfare. If you buy your airfare through Club Med, it includes private ground transfers with the air-inclusive package. Your all-inclusive package also includes lift tickets for 6 days. Sometimes, depending on the domain, that includes additional ski areas. We have some resorts that are connected in the same domain, and so you have access to a second Club Med resort. Your package also includes lessons and ski guides for 5 days with either French, Italian, or Swiss ski school instructors. As I mentioned, many of the resorts include ski in, ski out with direct access to the slopes. Again, something that's very important to, particularly to families that don't want to have to schlep their ski equipment with them. If you don't want to take your ski equipment with you, we've got amazing ski service on site. We provide top-of-the-line rentals as well as access to servicing of your equipment as needed with expert care. So great ski service. That is not part of the all-inclusive offer, but is certainly part of the services that we offer. All-day dining on the mountainside, in addition to open bar, kids clubs with special ski programs for kids, and then a variety of non-ski activities. So if not everyone in the family skis, or you don't want to ski every day, then we've got a variety of non-ski activities, including fitness, spa, a lot of outdoor activities that are available. In the summer, some of the resorts are open in the summer, and we offer a variety of hiking, golfing, mountain biking, and much, much more. To demonstrate real quickly, I'm not going to go through this slide in great detail because I want to make sure I leave enough time for Q&A. We in the ski value educational tool that we created, we also have this slide. This shows you in Chamonix for a couple what we believe the savings are for an all-inclusive package at Club Med versus doing do-it-yourself in Chamonix. And in this case, and in the second case for family, we're including air as part of the overall package. So the total cost for a couple that go to Chamonix for a week is about $5,800, or $2,900 per person. It includes, as I mentioned, airfare, private transfers, 7 nights in the hotel, all your food, all your drinks, your lift tickets, your lessons. Tipping is included. There are no taxes, and then includes a variety of activities off the slope as well, all for $2,900 a person. To do that on your own, we very conservatively estimate it would cost more than $7,000, or a savings of $1,400 per couple. When you think of, you look at what we've estimated, for example, for drinks at $25 per person per day, that's 2 glasses of wine. And it's $6 Cokes. You'll easily surpass $350 a week in drinks. You can see the cost for lift tickets, the cost for lessons, and so on. So we really think that the ski product, while some may look at the $2,800 ticket and go, oh my God, that looks very expensive, when you've got people who are considering a trip to the Alps for skiing, one should really consider a Club Med all-inclusive package. For families, not surprisingly, the savings are just as strong. Again, this is we use Pesé Valandry as our sample or comparison for a family of 4. Again, the cost for a family of 4 would be $11,000. Just so you know, the package is commissionable at the travel agent rate commission for everything except for the airfare, and then we pay a 3% on the airfare. If you do happen to book a Club Med charter air, we pay 8% on our charter air, just as an aside. But with respect to the comparison here, a do-it-yourself in Pesé Valandry, the cost would be over $14,000. So again, another $3,000 savings per family. So one way to look at this is that the savings for the all-inclusive package almost pays for the airfare itself. Is a great way to look at this. And then lastly, I'll leave you with a couple tips that we've developed on how to sell Club Med. So first, how to sell Club Med. First, think of families. Club Med is a great option for multi-generational families. We do a lot of multi-generational family groups. Use third-party accolades like the TripAdvisor Ixtapa that I shared with you earlier to support your recommendations. It won't be surprising if you find guests who will be surprised by a Club Med recommendation for their family, so certainly use those third-party accolades to help support your recommendation. We are very multicultural. Our guests are a very diverse bunch who like to meet people from different cultures and like to experience new and different things. I like to refer to them as citizens of the world. If you've got clients who are looking to be surrounded by Americans with people who only speak English and who are going to eat hamburgers and hot dogs all day long, we probably aren't your brand. But if you've got families who are looking particularly for their kids to meet people from different cultures and experience new and different things, then we really think that we're a great option for you to present to your clients. Our guests are affluent. Some of them are very affluent, but they rarely flaunt it. Club Med accommodations are comfortable and chic. They are not stuffy and pretentious. Vacation planning and budgeting for these guests is stress-free. So for families who put a premium on their time, they will find a value in an all-inclusive approach. They value individual choice in accommodations, activities, and dining. Many people think that all-inclusives provide what the provider wants to provide with little opportunity for customization. And I hope through today's discussion we shared with you the variety of activities that Club has to offer, really something for everyone from babies to moms and dads to grandparents. The whole family can relax and leave energized and feel fulfilled from their vacation. Our guests also value authentic experiences over luxury for luxury's sake. So while we appeal to luxury clients, we appeal to that segment of luxury clients that are looking for authenticity. The experience itself is the luxury. There are no, as I mentioned, there's no cookie-cutter resorts. Every resort and experience is authentic to the destination. So if you go to Club Med Marrakesh, you know you're in Morocco. If you go to Club Med Bali, you know you're in Indonesia or in Bali. The experiences are very authentic to those destinations. So how can you learn how to sell Club Med? We've got 4 ways that we think in combination can help you become much more educated, much more confident in your sales ability and in your comfort in offering Club Med as a recommendation. The first recommendation that I would make is to sign up on our travel agent website, which is clubmedta.com. This gives you access to the latest Club Med news, all of our promotions and marketing tools. This is our primary form of communicating with our engaged travel agents, whether it's learning about something like Go for the Gold or needing to know about the status of a village that's under hurricane warning. We communicate with our engaged partners that are signed up on Club Med TA. Second, I mentioned to you when we started that I didn't think we would make you an expert through this presentation. The way that we recommend you become a Club Med expert is to go to Travel Agent University. You can get there 2 ways. You can log on to clubmedexpertagent.com, or you can go to Travel Agent University, which is tauniv.com, and click on the Club Med logo. We have a certification program that we've developed that covers the history, how to market Club Med, how to position it, different target markets. Once you have passed the certification program, you are automatically enrolled in our agent loyalty program that we call Great Agents. There are great rewards by being a great agent. And in addition, there are some unique communications and opportunities that we provide just to our expert agents. For example, we will prioritize invitations to reopenings of resorts, to grand openings of resorts, to private FAM opportunities and so on, just to our expert agents. Third, contact one of our 12 business development managers that can help you grow your business. You can find your business development manager on Club Med TA. All of them their photographs and their contact information is all located there based on your location. For members of host agencies or independent contractors, we suggest that you contact your host for additional support and information on who the BDM is that's supposed to host agency. And then last but not least, we invite you to call our customer contact center for reservations, travel partner support and guest relations. We have 50 agents in Tempe and in Montreal as backup. They can be reached at 1-800-CLUB-MED. And I think one last thing I'll point out is this is the URL for the expert agent. Again, clubmedexpertagent.com. And we invite you to become engaged. And with that, I will open it up to any questions that you might have.
Excellent. Patrick, thank you so much. That was a very informative presentation. I want to make sure we have Tracy on the line. Is that correct? Is Tracy here? Tracy?
Yes, I'm here.
Excellent. I want to introduce Tracy Sedlak again. She's the Director of Call Center Operations for Club Med North America, and she'll be joining us for the Q&A. And boy, I'll tell you, we got lots of questions. A lot of great stuff in that presentation. I think one that was brought up a couple of times here that I wanted to open it up with was how does Club Med's commission paid to travel agents work?
If you want to know what the tier structure is, we pay a base commission starting at 10%, all the way up to 15%, depending on production. Not dissimilar to cruise lines and other suppliers. If you belong to a consortia, then you should check your consortia for the commission tiers. We have a preferred tier arrangement with Signature. Other than that, you make a booking and we pay your commissions.
Excellent. You mentioned earlier that there was a certain grouping of your properties that were being actively marketed to Americans. What criteria did you use to select those?
We looked at a number of things, Matt. We looked first at, and I mentioned this a little bit, so I don't want to be redundant, but we looked at where Club Med guests were already traveling. We looked at what Club Med guests, getting tongue-tied here late into the hour. We looked at what they were searching for either through the call center or online. We looked at guest satisfaction ratings globally. We looked at TripAdvisor ratings, and we looked at where we had bilingual, or I should say multilingual, because many of our geos speak 3, sometimes 4 more languages. So we wanted to make sure that of the larger portfolio of more than 70 resorts, that we were focusing our efforts on those resorts that we thought would be best for Americans. So, for example, we don't. There are resorts that are very perhaps popular with the French that may not be as popular with Americans that we don't include. It's not that the experience isn't great. We have many French expats in the U.S., for example, that travel to our resorts in Tunisia. It's not a high demand destination today for U.S. guests, so we don't promote it. It certainly doesn't preclude a travel agent from inquiring and selling it to U.S. guests, and we'll always be honest with you about the destination. One thing I should note is that as Club Med has moved upscale, as we like to say, more than 2/3 of our portfolio globally are 4 and 5 Trident. What that means is that we still do have some resorts that are 3-star resorts, and those resorts that are in Europe, or let's say outside of North America, that are 3-star, we did not include in the portfolio. We chose to focus our efforts on 4 and 5-star properties outside of North America.
We got a few questions in regard to Club Med's smoking policy. Could you outline a little bit about what is the smoking policy and if you can guarantee non-smoking rooms?
That's a very specific question. I'll let Tracy try to answer that one.
No problem. Most of the villages, the smoking policy is it's non-smoking in all of the rooms. That goes for the resorts in North America as well as most of the resorts around the world. Smoking is allowed in public areas, however, so that question we do get in the call center as well, but the rooms are non-smoking.
Excellent. We had a question on skiing. Someone's asking, do you have any of the resorts that they offer heli-skiing?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't recall that off the top of my head. Tracy, have you run across that question before?
No, if it was offered, it would be through our discovery centers, and we can certainly take those questions through the call center and find out from the village teams in particular where people might be interested in doing that. We can certainly find out.
Yeah, and in resorts like Valmoral, where we have a chalet product, and which comes with concierge service, private butlers, private chefs. The concierge is there to help define and deliver very unique experiences. And so, while I would never commit that a concierge in Valmoral can source heli-skiing, I wouldn't be surprised if that's one of the things that they look to do for our most upscale guests that are looking for a very unique experience on the mountain.
Excellent. A lot of people were very interested in the baby med. Actually, a couple of questions here. One is there a fridge in the rooms, and are there foods in there, et cetera, like milk, et cetera, that are loaded into them that are baby friendly?
Trace, why don't you go ahead?
Sure, no problem. Many of the resorts do have refrigerators in the room. It just depends on the room category. However, in villages where we have the Baby Club Med, we do offer bottle rooms where parents will have exclusive access to these rooms, which are scattered around the village. In those rooms, you will find stocked refrigerators with all sorts of baby products, whether it be milk and food, fresh vegetables, yogurts, things like that. So that is available in any of the resorts that offer the Baby Club Med product.
And a follow-up question in regard to the Baby Club Med product is babysitters. Is there is there babysitting available, especially for, let's say, after hours, something of the sort, if a family wanted to go out and husband and wife wanted to have a good time for a little bit and wanted to have a babysitter available to them?
It varies by village, again, just based on location. We can answer that question. There's also information online, either one. We also offer the Pajama Club in many of our resorts, and that is more of an after-hours program. That is an additional charge and available, depending on what the parents want. It's an additional cost, and it's booked on site.
Right. In terms of ski resorts, again, do any of them have ski schools for children?
The answer is yes. Virtually all of them that we selected. There is some variation in the starting age that the programs are available for kids. But again, with the exception of, I know Chamonix does not start at age 4. But again, we can. Like many things, it varies with the location. But absolutely, in all the family ski resorts, there are ski instructions for kids.
Right. A question
that includes not just ski, but also snowboarding.
Right. We had a couple of questions in regard to sport specialties. Do any of the resorts offer sports specialties beyond Sandpiper Bay?
Well, the answer is yes. I mean, we've got sports specialties in virtually all the Club Med resorts. Sandpiper Bay is unique not in that it's got sports specialties, but that it has what we call Club Med Academy, which is a completely different concept. So if you go, for example, to Rio das Pedras in Brazil, or you go to Ixtapa, you go to Columbus Island, the Bahamas, we've got expert tennis instruction in those villages. If you go to Sandpiper Bay, we have the Club Med Academies, which we run in partnership with IMG. Coaching staff that's on site at Sandpiper Bay came from the Bollettieri Academy in Tampa, and in Sandpiper Bay we board very, very high potential kids that are there to train to become #1 tennis players in the world, both boys and girls. What that means for our travel partners and for our guests, more importantly, is that if you want expert instruction, we've got world-class coaches on site. So at Sandpiper Bay, you've got access to more tennis courts than we typically have. We've got over 20 tennis courts in Sandpiper Bay. We've got both hard and clay. We have group lessons that are taught by coaches that come out of the academy. We run round robins and social events. The ambiance in the village is a little bit unique because you see a lot of these student athletes around the village. But so you get this access to coaching and facilities that's definitely a step above what we would have in other resorts. But we've got expert instruction in a variety of sports in a variety of locations. It just depends on the location. So, we may have expert water ski instruction in a resort where we don't have that in Sandpiper Bay. Sandpiper Bay is unique because of its focus on the golf, tennis, and fitness academies that we have, as I said, we run in conjunction with IMG.
Terrific. We have just a couple more minutes, so I'm going to pull out a couple more questions. We got a lot of questions here. I should say a couple of the questions we received is this being recorded? Yes, this is definitely being recorded. We'll be emailing this to everyone that's in attendance afterwards once we have it, the recording completed. So you can go back and watch this at your leisure at any time. And as well, you can send it to any of your colleagues as well to learn all about Club Med. We did receive a question in regard to the True Card. Do you accept the True Card for travel agent rates?
I've never gotten that question before.
We should have no issue with it. I mean, as long as we can validate it. We know that we can validate IATN and CLIA, so I don't see any issue with a True Card.
Yeah, I mean, we offer travel agent rates with credentials.
Absolutely.
Terrific. Are there special travel agent rates for your international destinations?
Yes, it's not as easy as we have with the 8 resorts in North America. We take requests and we submit those to our counterparts in Asia, South America, or Europe. It takes a little bit longer, but it's something that I'm working on because we've been quite successful in the past year in particular in generating a significant increase in U.S. source business to the international destinations. So all the agent has to do is ask, and we will work to facilitate travel agent rates. We also have initiated some FAM programs. We've got FAM trips coming up to Marrakesh and to Opio, which is our resort in Provence in the south of France. And so we're working much more closely with the other business units to secure space so that travel agents can experience it and then sell it more confidently.
Terrific. We're going to end it with one last question, and it's in regard to is there a deposit? Are there fees for changing and also for cancellation? Can you talk a little bit about your policies on those 3 things?
I didn't understand the first one.
A deposit for booking?
Oh, I thought you said closet, and then you said changing. And I'm like, we charge fees for a closet and changing? No. Every room has a closet, and you're allowed to change your clothes. Please change your clothes at least daily. Trace, do you want to handle deposit and cancellation?
Yeah, no problem. Our normal deposit terms is it's 25% of the package price per person plus membership fees. That is due at the time of booking or prior to the option expiring. Your reservation agent can give you that information when you make the booking. We do require unpublished and scheduled airfare, 100% of that, because it is paid to the airline and that secures your ticket. The final payment is due at 45 days prior to departure. We do have we have two different cancellation policies. The first cancellation and revision policy is for regular travel dates, and then we have a specific holiday cancellation and revision policy. The normal cancellation and revision policy, you are outside of penalty at 61 days or more prior to departure. Then the scale increases as you get closer to the departure date. It goes anywhere from 25% to 100%. Airfare is 100% non-refundable. And then the holiday policy, this is primarily for Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, President's Week, those peak travel periods. The cancellation policy starts at 90 days prior to departure rather than 60.
Terrific. And with that, we'll call it a wrap. Patrick, did you have a last point?
And Matt, well, I just wanted to point out that while that was a lot of technical information, the Trident brochure, we have a brand new brochure that is just shipping this week as we speak. In the Trident brochure, like most travel supplier brochures, we cover all of that information, plus it's available online. The brochure has been digitized and it's online as well. So you'll find in the back of the brochure answers to a lot of the questions people had about at what age do ski lessons start in certain Club Med villages, how old do you have to be to partake in certain activities, what are the deposit and cancellation schedules, how many green slopes are there in Valmoral. I mean, all of those very detailed questions are available, can be answered in the brochure and are available on clubmedta.com. And so with that, I would, again, just close with a strong recommendation that if you're interested, based on what we shared with you today, and we hope you are, we're very committed to the travel agency channel. Club Med is on a rather aggressive growth plan, both in terms of new destinations as well as our focus on these international destinations from the U.S. The best way to become engaged with us is to raise your hand and say you'd like us to help you grow your Club Med business. And to do that, do two things. One is to register on clubmedta.com, and second is to go to clubmedexpertagents.com and take the certification program. That way we know that you've got down the basics and that you're interested in earning rewards for the bookings that you make at Club Med, in addition to the commissions that we gladly pay you. And secondly, we're in a much better position to communicate with you regularly about all the great new things that we've got planned here at Club Med. So clubmedta.com and clubmedexpertagent.com would be my last two recommendations.
Perfect. A big thanks to you, Patrick, and to Tracy for sharing an amazing amount of knowledge with us today on the new Club Med and how we can sell it. And for those interested, again, we have recorded this presentation and we'll be placing it up on recommend.com. We'll be sending out an email to you all with that link so you can watch it at your leisure to catch any information that you might not have seen or heard. Again, you'll receive an email with that direct link. Thank you so much for being here with us today, and we hope to see you again at a future Recommend webinar. Thank you.